What's up, guys? It's Tuesday, so that means today I will be getting my stem cells. And but first I'm at, let's see, that there, Texas Spine Center Chiropractic with Dr. Justin Brown. I'm pretty sure it's Brown. But yeah, I'll be meeting with Dr. Justin, and we will go through a little bit upper back and neck, I think, and just see how it goes. It's gonna be nice, getting oiling up the grooves or greasing up the joints or whatever you call it. But yeah, see you later. See you inside. So we started off with 10 minutes on this rolling bed. It's like a massage bed with crazy powerful. Really enjoyed it and really loosened up the back. So probably we can get some cracks and stuff going, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we can totally do that. All right, let's see. The report on here first. I don't look at a lot of wrists, so. Negative ulnar variance. I heard you talk about that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Really what I would look at is the impression here. So negative ulnar variance with the ulnar foreshortened by 5 millimeters in relation to the distal radius. You think that's some degeneration of that cartilage and that you've got some inflammation in there. All part of that pathway that's to be expected there. And then you have a little bit of extensor carpi ulnaris. That would be doing this, which makes sense exactly what you're saying yesterday. These coming up this way, you've got some tendinosis. The thing about that is that's going to be the same treatment as everything else, right? A tendinosis is muscle turns into tendon where it attaches to the bone. When you're pulling hard on that and it's not used to the pulling or not, you're not giving it as much rest time as it needs, that's when you start to develop a tendinitis. Same thing with a golfer's elbow, tennis elbow. On here, you've got the same thing more distally in the wrist.
All right.
Multiple ganglion cysts about the wrist, dorsal and volar aspects. Now, the thing about a ganglion cyst is it's just a little fluid-filled cyst. Problem is it's space occupying. So, when you look at all 5 impressions here, the question is, what is your pain generator? And you're allowed to have all 5 of these be pain generators. But I would argue that those ganglion cysts have probably been there a while on you, and normally they just hang out in there. So they're not gonna, typically they won't get bigger. They'll just tend to hang out in there. Now, they're saying multiple. I'd have to dig into the images and see exactly kind of where they're saying they are. But if there's multiple, they're probably not going to do anything about it in terms of surgery or excising them. I would argue that your top 4 are why you're having pain in the wrist. The bone bruising, the degeneration of that TFCC cartilage, the little bit of a tendinitis, and then what was the last one here? The swelling. Tendinitis, swelling, degeneration, bone bruising. I mean, you got a lot going on, but I don't think anything of it is serious enough to where you're going to need to consider surgery or anything like that. So I would just continue what you're doing. Yeah, so that's cool.
Awesome.
Stem cells, peptides, laser would all be great options for that, all around kind of that ulnar compartment. Yep. How did everything feel that we did yesterday on you?
Felt great.
Good.
Yeah.
So
and until this morning, my wrist also felt better. But when I took my my hand luggage, and I lifted it,
you felt it on the ulnar side.
Yeah, I got on pain in the ulnar side.
Okay.
Again.
Cool. Let's do some adjustments on the lower back. Any mid back or neck pain at all today?
No pain, but I would like to just adjust while I'm here. Yeah.
Cool. Let's go face down for me first.
Just hold it.
I can throw it on your back, clip it to your shirt. We'll move it around that per adjustment if you want. You want it closer to your neck?
I can just hold it here.
You just want to hold it?
Yeah.
How tall are you? Glenn said 6'6".
Yeah, 6'6", 199 centimeter. It all depends a little bit in the morning or in the evening. Because when I wake up in the morning, I have to adjust the rear view mirror for.
So that's crazy. I've never heard anybody tell me that.
Every morning.
I've been doing that.
Every morning I wake up, I have to adjust the mirror, and every time I get off work, I have to adjust it again.
I love that. That's fantastic. So the height of the discs are obviously going to be bigger in the morning. So you're going to feel taller in the morning, and then as you go on, those discs compress down.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do your neck face down here.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's a lot of cracking.
That was great. When was the last time you had that, man?
Oh, probably 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah. Because it's like an upper back. I don't think anyone ever gotten a crack from it.
So I'm gonna try it a couple different ways.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath in for me, and then exhale. Let that fall here. So you're obviously super bound up in here. I'm gonna do it from more of a pulling perspective.
Yep.
You ever had anybody pull your head, do distraction that way?
One guy from Stockholm.
That'd go okay for you?
Yeah, of course.
All right, lay on your right side. I'm gonna do that way. I'm gonna do your lower back like we did yesterday. Val, if you wanna come behind me, obviously have his face in this versus my face.
Oops. Whatever. Yeah, just keep holding.
So you're back to Sweden on Friday.
Yep.
So what we're doing on you is we're taking that sacrum forward. You have a lot of L5, S1 compression.
Yep.
Real easy, bud. Let that fall. Awesome. You move pretty easy, man. I'm surprised you told me that nobody could get that.
Yeah, well, it's, I don't know, they have
It
a
helps
hard-
when you x-ray it. It helps when you know what you're doing in terms of x-ray.
Yeah, because you know what you're...
You know where you're
aiming
trying
for.
to move it, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to adjust SI joint or L4 on you, you don't need that. You know what I mean? You need L5, S1.
Yeah.
And then any thoughts on your hip? We talked about that left hip having that shortened neck.
Well, it explains a lot of things, so that was a nice find.
Really easy, but awesome. So you're gonna lay on your back. Your head's gonna go on here. On this one, I'll have you get more of like his face.
Right.
Scoot up just a little bit
The
for
money
me.
maker.
The money maker. How long does it take you to grow a beard like that? If you shaved it today, how long would it take you to grow that back out?
18 months, I think.
18 months.
Yeah. Or, yeah, I think a little bit over a year at least.
So we're gonna strap in your ankles here because when I pull you, I don't want you to slide down the table.
Yep.
So Val, have you get like right here and get his face, or from over here. That's fine. Yeah, I would just like literally over him. Because this is one that he's probably not had in a minute. Lift your head up for me. Go ahead and relax. This one's gonna smush that pretty beard just a little bit.
This one I never have though.
Okay. I'll make sure we get that over here. There we go. So some people use a towel. Some people, I'm trying not to pinch you here. Some people use a towel. I like this apparatus better. It just is more secure, I think, on you. So what you gotta do is keep your teeth together, just relax. I'm gonna slide you here. I'm gonna make sure everything feels okay before we do anything. Does that feel okay on you?
Yeah, I got a pop.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do it harder, obviously. I'm gonna slide you more. You're gonna feel this release down your spine.
Yep.
Okay.
That was needed. Holy fuck.
Where'd you feel that at?
Like all the fucking way.
You've never had that before?
Never.
All right, if you win your next championship in arm wrestling, I want all the credit.
Oh my God. Oh.
Let's go do some laser on that wrist and you'll be set.
Awesome.
That one right there is most people's favorite.
That's been compressed for a while.
That was great. That was good, man. Follow me. Just gonna take a seat right here. Do the same thing we did yesterday on this laser. So treatment in here is not gonna change in terms of, where I do it. I'm gonna keep it on that ulnar side, both top and bottom of that.
Yep.
But I think, look out. But I think overall, I think that's good news for you.
I think so too.
I think that's probably what you would want. The way they rate degeneration is mild, moderate, severe. And the way you look at that is mild would be a 1 out of 5, severe would be a 5 out of 5. So a moderate is a 3 out of 5, right?
Yep.
And that's not something that you're gonna re-MRI in 2 years and it's gonna be mild. But you can get rid of some of the swelling in there, can get rid of some of the tendonitis in there with stuff like this. Generation's always gonna be there.
Would rehab be more of the solution now than, should I rest or rehab? What would be the best course of action?
I am always rehab guy. Now, if you were in here and couldn't move your wrist at all, it'd be a different story. But I like rehab if you can, right? I think the days of icing and elevating and compression and all that, actually the guy that came out with that theory, the RICE theory, the rest, ice, compress, elevate, he has come back and said, actually, I kind of
fucked up.
yeah. He's like, I don't necessarily think I was right on that. He came back and was like, we need to be doing therapeutic exercise, therapeutic movement. So I do think that right now is a time that you go more into the rehab phase versus the let's give it 6 months off phase. Yeah. Now, if you had a tear in there, it'd be a different story. So all of this is very subjective. All of this is very, case to case basis. But
yeah, I'm super happy about it not being a tear.
Yeah.
But it also explains it because I never felt anything, and all things I've torn. I mean, I've been in surgery 10 times, so I've torn a lot of things, and I've always felt it. So I was like, how can I not have felt it if it's torn? But now when the physiotherapist did a test where he moved my ulnar bone, and that's because the movement of the ulnar bone was so he could move it a lot.
Loose almost.
Yeah, it was loose.
Lax.
So that's why he thought it would be a TFCC tear. But the negative ulnar variation explains why there's movement in the ulnar.
And I would totally agree with you there. And you even yesterday when you were talking about not being able to raise those up as strong, that's going to be more of the tendinopathy on those extensor muscles, extensor tendons that do that there. Now, we spoke yesterday, that can sometimes be caused from a neck issue. But traditionally, you're going to have that all the way down the chain, not just in those specific digits, traditionally. So I don't think that case for you would be something from the neck. I think everything you're experiencing there is local. I don't think anything's coming from anywhere else. So I saw you training a little bit more left arm.
Yeah.
The camera's not flipped. You were actually training the left arm,
Yeah,
I
I'm
assume?
just training left arm.
How often do you ever arm wrestle with that arm?
Well, it's not as competitive as my right I believe it's due to the 2 surgeries I've had on the shoulder and some nerve damage.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it just disconnects completely. So, if you just, if we go by weights, it's 30% weaker than my right arm.
Okay.
And if we go by arm wrestling, it's 80% weaker because I cannot have the connections.
From a guy that has the smallest arms in the room right now, what percent of arm wrestling is sheer strength, technique, versus your brain, your neuromuscular connection? How do you break down what percent is what and what's most important? We're going to flip this over here.
I would say technique is most important.
So sheer strength is not number one.
I would not say that, but
okay.
Of course you can have all the technique in the world but that can be overpowered by sheer strength. So strength, in my opinion, when I first started out, I faced a guy who weighed 176 pounds.
We talking pounds or kilos?
Pounds. 176 pounds.
That's me.
I faced him and he ripped through me like nothing. And there is no way in the world that he's stronger than me in anything. But the way he manipulated the setup, the way and I knew nothing about it because this was like the first time ever I arm wrestled. So he ripped through me like nothing, and that's when I understood, like, okay, arm wrestling is not just about strength. So technique is super important, and connectivity, the way you can connect everything and bind everything together and producing the most force possible.
Sure.
It's like if you do an overhead press.
Right.
If you try to strict press it, that means it's mostly shoulders and triceps doing the work. But if you're trying to lift as much weights as possible, you're going to dip down, you're going to use the triple extensions, ankles, knees, hips to produce force into that bar.
Can move a lot more.
To move a lot more weight. So same thing in arm wrestling. If you just do this, you're not going to beat someone who does this, where he pulls with his chest, his cupping ability, his rise, his pronation, his brachioradialis. He also sits down, so he produces upwards force. So all of that you can, combined can beat pure strength. But if you take someone like, if someone could bicep curl 200 kg or 400 pounds, you're not going to be able to produce more than 400 pounds with your technique. So he's still going to beat you.
Wow.
So in that sense, strength is most important, but it's also kind of impossible to get that strong. So that's why I'm ranking technique way.
So you're saying there's a chance for me at 178 pounds?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would have thought it would have been a high percent strength and like technique was 10-20%.
Oh, I'd say 60 technique, 40.
That's awesome. What do you do for like auxiliary movements? You're not just arm wrestling. You're doing some cross training, I assume. What's like the number one thing you do to get stronger?
For arm wrestling or just
for arm wrestling?
For arm wrestling, I have 5 exercise sets. It's rise, which is radial deviation. I have cupping, which is wrist flexion, but I do high cupping and low cupping. So high cupping goes through the knuckle with more of a pronated forearm, and low cupping goes from a more supinated position with pressures in the bottom 2 fingers. And then I do something called back pressure, which is with pronation, which is you're pulling towards yourself and up while wrapping something around your thumb going over the back of your hand, so it tries to pull you open. And you try to resist this motion when you're moving backwards.
Do they make like machines for training for this?
They do, but I think they're all bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, they have made a pulley system you can attach to an arm wrestling table. That one I like, but you don't really need that. All you need to do is get those 5 important movements down and strong, and then you gotta bind it all together at the table.
I love it. Philip, you're all set, man. Awesome, I think this laser is awesome for this. Keep doing what you're doing. Peptides are going to be great. Stem cells are obviously going to be fantastic. Is he doing exosomes as well, or just stem cells?
I'm not completely sure what he got in store for me.
When I see you after this visit, we'll be checking up on that.
Yeah.